How y'all doing? Third 12 in the podcast. You got the two hosts, Byron, myself, Broderick
Yeah, yeah.
here. Tonight, we're just gonna give a little preview of the upcoming Super Bowl tomorrow, February 11th, and also big announcement, big shout out, y'all check out our live stream of the Super Bowl that's coming
Yes,
up. Our
sir.
first one as a group is gonna be fun. But without further ado, this video is gonna be dropping tomorrow before the Super Bowl, so y'all go check this out. I wanted to give y'all a little bit of stats to check out before the big game. So first, I want to talk about the Chiefs' defense. They only surrendering 289.8 total yards per game, which ranks second in the NFL, and these are regular season stats. They only gave up 15.8 points per game, which was second in the NFL. The fourth best pass defense at 176.5 yards a game, and they ranked 17th against the run at 113 yards, 113.2 yards per game. And one more before I move on to the key players. On third down, they were at 37.1%, which ranked 10th in the National Football League. So what that tells us automatically is that they were great against the pass, not so great against the run. That's not surprising to me when you got players like Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, Chris Jones rushing the passer, and a host
Yeah.
of athletic linebackers. So those stats aren't surprising to me, but it also paints the pictures of a clear strength against a weakness as far as the 49ers with a game plan of controlling the game from a time of possession standpoint and running the football against a seemingly challenged Chiefs defense. But we see how the Chiefs did limit Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, um, who are the most dominant rushing offense in the league, even though it can be argued the Ravens kind of got out their body a little bit as far as their identity and moving away from
Yeah.
it.
That game plan was definitely not up to par.
How do you think that the Ravens, or how do you think that the 49ers can stick to their game plan and not like stray away?
McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Like McCaffrey is he's like that kryptonite to what the Chiefs aren't good at this year.
yeah,
Like he's that runner. He's a great runner in between the tackle
yeah.
and God help them if they got to tackle him in space.
Yeah,
So yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. So at the end of each of these segments, I had the three key players. So the three key players for the Chiefs defense, in my opinion, are Chris Jones, linebacker Nick Bolton, and Trent McDuffie. Of course,
Okay.
Chris Jones goes without saying. One of the best, if not the best, defensive tackles in the NFL.
He's definitely up there.
He that 49ers offensive line, they've been well coached in the inside and outside zone running scheme. So I think he's going to be on the move a lot this game, as far
Yeah.
as sideline to sideline and not being allowed to just pin his ears back unless they get the 49ers in a lot of third down situations, um, which I expect to happen because I expect them to run the ball. Um,
Yeah.
and then Nick Bolton, he just came back a couple games ago against the Bills off of IR. Shout out Nick Bolton, only 5'11". So I got a lot of respect for that, holding down for the short kings in the NFL.
Hey,
But only 5'11", 237 pounds from Mizzou, explosive sideline to sideline linebacker. He's going to be a big focal point in this game, like we already talked about, and we're going to talk about more as far as trying to contain Christian McCaffrey. He's going to be that linebacker that they're going to need to run sideline to sideline, diagnose plays, and just be
yeah.
overall athletic out there on that field. I like him and Willis, not Willis, but Willie Gay Jr. out there at linebacker,
Okay.
and to see what they're gonna do. And finally, Trick McDuffie. I honestly was gonna pick L'Jarius Sneed, one of my favorite cornerbacks in the NFL. But I went with Trick McDuffie because I think he's gonna be lined up mostly on Brandon Ayuk, who I think is going to be super important in this game, especially from the slot. And I think that's where Trent is going to line up as well. And the in-between yards in this game are going to be, in my opinion, what's most important from both sides, from the Travis Kelce in-between yards to the George Kittles to the CMCs to the Brandon
Yeah.
Ayuk and Debo Samuel. That middle of the field is going to be very important in this game, as I think both offenses are going to try to control the game and slow it down. So,
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be like the last game with the Chiefs and Ravens. Very limited possessions, and very fast paced but slow paced game, like chunkings of time.
yeah, I think people got to understand it's a lot like the playoffs in any sport. Like it slows
Yeah.
down, it's more methodical. Every possession really counts in any playoff
Yep.
high pressure type setting. So that's what each team is going to do. Next, we just talked about the Chiefs defense. I can harp on the 49ers defense, which only gave up 17.1 points a game,
Mm-hmm.
303.9 total yards a game. 214 pass yards a game. And when I wrote this down, I really couldn't believe it. And I'm gonna say it again, it's gonna sound unbelievable, I'm sure to y'all. They only gave up
Wait, let's hear this.
89.7 rush yards a game. Um,
Sheesh. Clamping.
they, they had 48 sacks and they got 22 interceptions this year.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's pretty
so
good. That's
so
pretty
of
good.
course, like Bruh said, there was clamps all year. It's not surprising with the multitude of talent on there. Like John Lynch as the general manager, he's one of those guys where it's like, what's the meme says? It says, he can't keep getting away with this. like, like,
Yeah, he made some plays. He definitely
like,
made some great plays.
bruh draft will, bruh
Mhm.
signs great free agents that other teams undervalue. But just speaking on the defense, of course, three key players. I'm gonna get to them later on, but
I can guess one of them for sure, for sure.
for sure. But it's gonna be about stopping or trying to contain, which seems uncontainable. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes connection. Um, that's what it's gonna be all about. They clearly showed that they were good against stopping the run, but at the same time, the 49ers, we're going to talk about later, actually have a more explosive offense than what people might think. So they were playing
Oh yeah.
ahead a lot of the time. So it forced a lot of teams to have to pass the ball and abandon the run. Even though I still think they would have been good against the run with Drake Greenlaw and Fred Warner and all those guys on the defensive line, and a good tackling secondary. I think, and they were good against the run, but it does add credence to how other teams had to play due to the fact that they were kind of playing catch up a lot of time against this team with Kyle Shanahan running the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Fast pace, fast scoring.
and especially 48 sacks and 22 picks, like that's a lot of turnovers. Like that's a
A
lot of
lot.
turnovers and a lot of negative plays. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Before I announce the three key players for the 49ers defense, who would you say were the three key players?
Um. Oh, for sure, gonna be that boy, Chase Young. He's gonna have to step up. We need that out of body experience from you to get back to being that number one draft pick.
Yeah,
Like, like we know what they're gonna be doing on the other side with Bosa.
yeah,
So you're gonna be one on one.
yeah,
We need you. We need you to
yeah,
step up. Stay in y'all. We need them boys to stay in the lanes. Um, Greenlaw, uh, in coverage. We're gonna need you to definitely step up to play Kelsey as best you can. Like you said, stop that connection.
yeah.
Um, and who does say? I say the defensive coordinator. Really, I'll say the defensive coordinator. I don't even know what's his name. What's the guy's name?
I don't even know that since D'Amico
I
left.
was
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know. It ain't the
also
fact
the
that I don't
defensive
know.
coordinator.
It's just the fact that it seems like they recycle defensive coordinators because they got so much talent on their side of the ball that, like, it seems like every one of their defensive coordinator gets hired as a head coach every single year. So,
Nah, facts. No, that's
um,
definitely right. But
my
their defensive coordinator with like picking plays
mm,
and being able to adjust to the game,
yeah,
like as it's going in real time. Like if you can't keep up with Andy Reid in that chess match and trying to slow them down and try to force those fourth downs and try to get the ball back, it's gonna be a long night.
well, it's probably gonna be a long night, man. I don't know if I believe in another play call besides Andy Reid, to be honest. Not that I don't believe in him, just like I hold him to the highest regard as a play caller. Um, my actual three key players were for the 49ers defense was Nick Bosa. Uh, I picked him mainly because he's a dominant player, but at the same time, Jawan Taylor, I believe the right tackle for the Chiefs, was literally the most penalized player. I want to say the last 2 decades, for sure, of the last decade, meaning the most penalized, the most holding penalties of the last decade. Um,
Sheesh.
and you're going against a dominant defensive end in Nick Bosa and like Brian was talking about, Chase Young. He's gonna have to step up and play this game. I do believe Chase Young lines up more on the right side, so he'll be lined up with Jawan Taylor even more. I think they have Donovan Smith over there on that left side. Chiefs fans, get in the comments to let me know if it's Donovan Smith that they got at left tackle over there. But I had Nick Bosa for obvious reasons against the pass and the run. Fred Warner,
Okay.
one of, if not the best coverage linebackers in the entire NFL. He's going to be super important in this game. Again, we keep talking about it, but you have to lament it because it's the best connection in the NFL between Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I don't think they're going to play one-on-one. I think they're going to bracket the coverage, but he's going to be the primary
Most definitely.
responsibility on him. And I think they're going to force those other receivers to try to win the game. And speaking of that, Charvarius Ward, one receiver that I guess they can rely on is Rashee Rice. Um,
Yeah.
Charvarius
He stepped
Ward,
up big.
first team, second team All Pro player, Pro Bowler, another great 49er defender at that cornerback position. What's crazy is I was actually reading up on like some from Middle Tennessee State football, and Charvarius Ward actually came from Middle Tennessee State by way of JUCO. So it's just funny how like little connections come about when you're doing your research and stuff. Um, Next, the
Oh,
49er
real quick,
offense.
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks. That's the defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
This how you know them boys extra talented. Cause I know that dude, he got fired after 1 year with the Cardinals. Like I don't
Yep.
know, it was a couple years ago. So that's how you know they just be recycling. He's
Yeah, they
you
don't
know
even
what?
care.
I'm getting disrespectful. He's probably a great defensive coordinator. Obviously he is.
Yeah.
49ers
It just sometimes
offense
it takes about the talent that you got on your roster.
for sure. I mean, and I'm kind of at the same time, in any sport, you can't win unless you got the supreme talent. So I can't sit here and like try to discredit a coach and he doesn't have the talent to win. Like Steve Clifford said a couple nights ago about the Charlotte Hornets, and this is way off topic, but he said it isn't about execution or anything like that. We're just getting out talented out there. Basically said them
Yeah.
boys trash. So he just kept it real. Um,
Kept it 100.
Now back to the Super Bowl preview. Let's talk about the 49er offense. And I think it's going to surprise some people again. They rank first in first down yardage, and CMC ranks first in getting first down yardage,
Sheesh.
obviously on first down. So that's going to be incredibly important. Obviously, that keeps Brock Purdy from having to have these long down and distances when it comes to second and third down. The playbook is fully open on second down, whether that's play action, screens, Debo, Brandon, whatever they want to do, they have it open because they're so successful on first down and not having negative plays. And I think the Chiefs are going to try to negate that ability by maybe bringing pressure on first down, definitely crowding the line of scrimmage to try to get them out of that healthy rhythm to where the full playbook isn't open and maybe they have longer down and distances. They had 398.4 yards total a game, 257.9 passing yards a game, 140.5 rush yards a game, and they averaged 28.9 points per game, which ranked third in the NFL, third, and they scored 61 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
Yes, it was. So they were just dominant. Arguably, they're more dominant on offense than they were defense, and that sounds surprising to say when you say it out loud. But
As a 49ers team, man.
yeah, so obviously they were dominant this year. I remember earlier in the year, like the 49ers, I think they won 5 or 6 games in a row, and people were talking about maybe they going undefeated. That's how talented and well coached they are. So these
Yeah.
numbers aren't a surprise. Um, and they're super balanced. Like I think they were the closest team. If they were, if it wasn't like 52-48 or somewhere around that, I think it was around that ratio of run to pass. So it's hard to dictate what they're going to do because they do both things well, and they're determined
Very
to do
well.
those things well. Um, and again,
I
I
think they
actually,
came back playing stronger after the 3 game stint that they lost. Like
yeah,
how they were playing, they win five. What'd you say, like 5 or 6-0, and
yeah,
then had a 3 game loss there, and then they came back even harder after that when they started back
yeah.
winning.
I feel like people don't. Okay, when you go, when I say I feel like people don't. I was gonna say understand just how explosive this team was. They tied with the Dolphins for the same amount of touchdowns as far as 61. And all we heard about the Dolphins this year was how explosive their offense was. Dolphins put up
Yeah,
70 some points on the team this year. So,
yeah,
so, so
that's
to
crazy.
take that into account,
Excuse me.
what 70 points, that's like 10 touchdowns in one
Yeah,
game. So taking account that the 49ers tied them in touchdowns is this incredible stat. Um, third in the NFL in points a game. If I had to throw a dart at the board, the one with the 49ers for the rank would not be third on that list. If I just didn't know like what I know at this point, I would not have picked the 49ers just because I don't expect them to have a sorry offense. I just thought it'd just be more slower pace and more ball control, but apparently they were focused on being explosive. I mean, and who had the number one offense? I believe it was the Ravens. And but the thing about it was they were either a little more than a point or a little less than a point from where the 49ers are. So they're very close to leading the entire NFL in scoring, while only giving up 17 points a game.
sheesh.
Um, so the three key
That's crazy.
players I had for the 49ers offense were CMC, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and Debo Samuel. Now I know it's not customary to not see the quarterback there. I do think Brock Purdy is going to be extremely important in this game. Uh,
Oh
but
yeah,
but the reason I went with George, well, CMC goes without saying. I already said he gets the most yards on first down. Um, I think for the 49ers to win this game, honestly, CMC is going to have to be the MVP, to be
yep.
honest. George Kittle, equally great as a blocker and pass catcher. I think he's going to be extremely important in this game in helping out CMC. And Debo Samuel is going to be important as well as the number one wide receiver, but also the number one variety player. I think we're going to see him do a variety of things. The playbook is going to
Mm-hmm.
open, and Kyle Shanahan is already an extremely dangerous play caller within the confines that he already works with. He already is already very open with the playbook, but I think it's going to be fully open and let out with some stuff we haven't seen
Hey, most
yet.
definitely that. Most definitely that. We're gonna see a lot of just getting the ball in those playmakers' hands immediately. Like we're gonna see people who never ran, like just rush the ball, just like
Yeah,
here you go, get the ball, do what you do.
yeah. I feel like, and I just want to say this about Brock Purdy real quick. Yeah, people try to clown on him, say he was a game manager, but what game manager in last week's game against the Lions, when y'all down 24-7, leads y'all on 5 straight scoring drives? Y'all went
Yeah,
5 straight scoring drives. That's not game manager type ability right there. So he is a talented quarterback, and he can
yeah.
get it done as a Mr. Irrelevant. Um, and that's no
That
disrespect.
would be
The last pick in the
crazy.
draft is called Mr. Irrelevant, for y'all who don't know.
That would be crazy for the last pick in the draft to come and win the Super Bowl in his
Yeah,
second year. Crazy.
Ben Roethlisberger type stuff. Um,
Tight.
even though we don't celebrate Ben Roethlisberger around here, uh,
At all.
got some allegations. Anyways, the Chiefs' offense. I was very surprised by these numbers, honestly. But the Chiefs' offense, 351.3 yards a game, 246.4 pass yards a game, 104.9 rush yards a game, and that number actually goes up in the playoffs to 127.3 as far as rushing yards. They scored 21.
Pacheco.
Yeah, they scored 21.8 points per game, which ranked 15th in the NFL, and they had 39 touchdowns scored this year. Um, I was actually surprised these numbers weren't higher, especially
Yeah,
that
that was a little
touchdown
lackluster
total.
touchdowns.
Yeah,
You said, yeah, you just said it. Go ahead.
nah, you good. Especially with other teams. Again, the 49ers scoring 61 and them scoring 39, and ranking 15th as far as points per game at 21.8. That was very surprising. I was like, man, the Chiefs, they guaranteed to at least get 4 touchdowns. But they did have some deficiencies at wide receiver this year, with their number one being Rashee Rice and Marquez Valdez-Scantling and a couple other known guys, McCole Hardman, end up going back to the Chiefs. Um, so they weren't explosive on the outside at receiver. I think they definitely miss and have been missing Juju Smith-Schuster. Excited about Justin Ross, but he was just a rookie this year. Um, so I was very surprised about these numbers. Passing yards, of course, they're going to be high. You got Patrick Mahomes. Um, and your defense was biting this year, only allowing 15.8 points a game. So you got to rely on a lot of ball control this year, something that you know, we're used to seeing them air it out and like explode on teams and things of that nature. So it shows how versatile that they really are. And of course, in the playoffs, I said the rushing total went up by almost 20 yards. So again, they're trying to keep the ball on the ground, trying to limit your possessions, and just trying to be methodical down the field with Travis and Mahomes.
Yeah.
Uh, who you got as the key players for the Chiefs offense?
Key players, Pacheco for sure.
Mm,
Pacheco getting those big chunk yards, being like 49ers CMC on the other side, trying to be the time of possession. Um, Obviously goes without saying, like you said, Kelsey,
mm,
Mahomes. So I won't even say those two. Rice stepping
yeah,
up as he's already done this year, trying to push himself to that number one role. And with Mahomes trusting him in the way that he does. And I'm not even sure if Tooney's going to be activated.
he's out.
Okay, so he's not even activated for the game. Okay,
Mm,
so then Marquez Valdez Scanlon. He's gonna have to step up. And not miss wide open hit you in the hand catches. Like
yeah,
we can't have that. Like
yeah,
if you're gonna win this Super Bowl, and this is not the game to drop passes. This is
no,
definitely not the game to drop passes.
It
Like,
definitely
forget
gonna
all
knock
those
that in
other
your
ones.
soul.
Yeah, forget all those other ones. I don't care if I dropped 100 during the season. I mean, I do,
Yeah,
but
for
if we
real.
make it here, to the Super Bowl off dropping 100 catches or whatever,
Yeah,
this ain't the game to drop nothing. Like,
for
I don't
real.
care if I'm in the phone booth with two people on me. I'm catching everything. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta catch it.
Well,
And
at
yeah,
least sell the play to get that flag.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you
most
gotta.
definitely. You better put the Oscar winning performance on.
For three key players I had was Rashay Rice. I think he's going to have to step up against a Pro Bowl, All Pro cornerback in Traverse Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's because of the two main key players. Let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
best quarterback in the NFL, the best quarterback since Tom Brady. Um,
Mhm.
ain't too much you can really say about him. I mean, he is the sole reason after reading all these stats that I think the Chiefs even have a chance. I'm not gonna give a prediction to after. We ain't gonna get a prediction after, but he's the sole reason because my mind is telling me 49ers. My heart is telling me, yo, this dude is the best quarterback since
It's
Tom
Patrick
Brady.
Mahomes.
Like
Yeah.
he can do anything. He's incredible, accurate,
Yeah.
strong arm, great leader. Like he's everything. He's the face of the NFL, best player by
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
But then my final key player was Travis Kelce / Taylor Swift. I gotta mention the Swifties
The
because
Swifties.
the thing about it, if you see Taylor Swift and her conglomerate of people, if they keep showing them, that means the Chiefs are scoring a bunch of touchdowns, or not. They might just
Yeah.
keep showing them for marketing campaign, and they want her fan base to watch the game so they can see her up there and stuff like that. I get it, NFL. It's about that
Yeah.
brand. I get it.
Gotta get
I
that
saw
money.
a dude at Sam's Club in the parking lot today, and I just looked at him. We looked at each other. And I just said, "Man, who you got today?" He was like, "Man, it really don't matter. I got Taylor Swift, man." They just gotta let the people play, and I'm just like, yeah, man,
No, that's fact.
yeah. But
That's fact.
hey, you got to get that money. Um,
Swifties.
they got Taylor Swift there. They're gonna have Usher there, so it's gonna be a lot of
Oh yeah.
legendary acts in the building. Um,
Definitely watch a halftime show.
and oddly enough, I feel like former President Trump is gonna be there. I just feel like
Probably.
it's gonna be a lot of celebrities there. It's the Super Bowl. Um, Let me see. Well, let me ask you this question real quick.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead. What's up?
how you a second? Who you off of what Usher album is you think he gonna perform the most songs?
Ooh. Um, Probably Confessions. Part two. Part two.
It'll be crazy. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it, but I think it's gonna be more like some pop type stuff because that
I
Confessions,
mean,
well,
true.
that's
True.
legendary. I
But
want to hear it.
maybe I just went off emotion because that's
Yeah.
that's that's what I've been
Yeah.
popping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I mean, yeah, true. So probably some more of his more recent stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like all that club music. I mean,
Yeah. You gonna hear
yeah,
that?
but
Oh, 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 oh. Yeah.
yeah.
You gonna hear that
Oh
type of
my
stuff.
God, yeah, he gonna be jigging.
Yeah. It's still gonna be lit. And I do think he gonna perform some songs off of Confessions. And I think Alicia Keys is gonna be a guest with him in the
Okay, then
performance.
my
So of
boo
course they
definitely
go,
gonna be played.
yeah,
Yeah,
you already know they my boo. Yeah, you know that's
and
going
it's that time of year, it's February. They they gonna play that
facts.
song for sure, for sure.
Facts. Don't they got more than one song though? I think they
Oh yeah,
got
they got
more
a
than one
couple
song.
songs together.
Alicia
They got a
Keys and
couple
Usher.
songs together. Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure.
But real quick, we don't got a sponsorship with y'all, but Prize Pick reach out to us, Third 12 Inning Podcast, because we
Yes,
are going to talk
sir.
about some over-unders that y'all got on here real quick in the time we got remaining. So, Patrick Mahomes, um, over less or more pass yards, 0.5.
Oh, more.
Yeah,
Easy.
it's 99% off. I might just put him on.
Yeah.
I'm just go put him on right there.
Oh yeah, might do mine later. Yeah.
Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, 74.5 receiving yards, less or more.
More.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with more on that too. I think he's gonna constantly
I'm gonna
target
say at
him.
least 80 or 100
Mm.
in between that range. Easy.
If it was 100, now I wouldn't put 100. Me personally.
No,
But oh, you said it's gonna be
if
in
the bet
between
was
80 and 100.
100, yeah, if the bet was him to get 100, I wouldn't put it. But
Yeah,
you said it was 70. What?
75, 74.5
He's guaranteed in between 80 to 100
for sure.
for sure.
Um, Isaiah Pacheco, 68.5 rush yards.
6 to 8.
68.5.
Oh, easy. More.
More. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
disagree with. I'm gonna put less
because
on that one.
listen, if the Chiefs get the ball first and
Mm-hmm.
score that next possession, if they stop the 49ers drive, they're
Yeah,
gonna run the ball.
yeah,
They're gonna run the ball. And Pacheco is the most hardest runner in the league.
He's holding that.
He can get 60 some yards in one drive.
Now I don't think on this defense, 89.7 yards rushing allowed. I don't.
I mean,
Byron say more. I'm gonna say
look what he
less.
did. Look what he did to the Ravens, who had the
Yeah,
number one defense in the
facts,
league, not the number two.
facts, facts. All right. So what about George Kittle? 50.5 receiving yards. This is a tough one.
That's a tough one because they got so many weapons at the
Now,
receiving
last game he
position.
only had 27 yards, but against Green Bay
That's
he had
yeah.
81 yards. He been kind of inconsistent, like
It's the
real up
teams
and
they
down.
playing though. Because I
Yeah,
mean, come on, like I'm not disrespecting Green Bay in any way, shape, or form, but they don't have the Ravens. I mean, they don't have the Lions defense at that.
I'm gonna say more. Just because I put George Kittle as a key player, I do think he's gonna be a key player in this game. I'm gonna say more.
I think he's gonna be a key player, but he's gonna be a key player in that Draymond Green sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Not saying that he's
yeah,
trash. Like
yeah.
Draymond Green is a very pivotal player. Pivotal player. I'm sorry, pivotal
Yeah.
player in the Warriors' whole system.
All right,
Like
we
that
got
man cannot have any points. It's still.
be dominant. So you for George Kittle, you have more or less. It was
I got
50.5.
less on that one. I got less. I
Yeah,
got less.
I had more personally. So the last two, Christian McCaffrey, the first one, rush plus reception touchdown 0.5. I got more for that.
More.
Oh, you got to put more for okay.
Yeah, you got to put more.
Christian McCaffrey, 92.5 rushing yards, less or more.
More.
Wow.
He gonna be toting that thing.
92.5 is high.
I say Christian McCaffrey's about to get at least 50 plus touches.
50 touches in a game?
They're gonna be running that thing. No, I'm just fucking.
Damn.
I'm just playing around. I'm just playing around. Maybe I say he gonna get at least
15.
no cap. Nah, he gonna get like in the 20 some range touches for
Mm.
sure, for sure.
That's
Especially if
why,
you're trying to control the game without putting too much pressure on Brock,
yeah.
and you want him to be the MVP, he has to get 20 plus touches. I
I'm
say
going to
20 plus
say,
touches, 2 touchdowns, two possibly 3 touchdowns. MVP if they win.
I'm going to say less just because I think he's going to be involved more in the passing game in this game. So before I cut off real quick, who you got, 49ers or Chiefs?
I got the 49ers. I'm down for the destiny for sure. I'm at the dynasty for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm with it. I'm not even gonna have it back to my younger days when I hated on Tom Brady for the longest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna bask in the greatness of being a true fan of the sport, and I really would like to see Mahomes win if he win. But I want to see the Mr. Irrelevant done for the first time, win the Super Bowl.
I think that the 49ers are gonna win, but I'm gonna have to say that the Chiefs are gonna win. And I know that's on the fence, but I'm gonna say the Chiefs. Some just telling me don't pick against Patrick Mahomes, even though we kind of saw him get rattled versus the Bucks a couple years ago. We go in a similar game as far as like the Bucks had more talent than the Chiefs, but the Chiefs had Patrick Mahomes, so everybody was kind of going for them. I think it's the same situation, especially looking at these stats. Like the 49ers have a more talented team, but both of these teams have great defenses and strong offenses. And they've looked great throughout the playoffs. But again, the 49ers can allow themselves to get smoked like the Lions are smoking them in that first half because they will not be able to catch up against this Chiefs team. So that's ultimately why I'm gonna go with the Chiefs for a multitude of other reasons, mainly the Swifties, Patrick Mahomes, free Patrick Mahomes Sr., and all that type of stuff. Again, Prizepicks, get at us for the sponsorship. Y'all like, comment, subscribe on the video. It's been a
Most
good video.
definitely.
My boy picking the 49ers. I'm
49ers,
picking the
most definitely.
Chiefs. And again, get ready to watch the live stream tomorrow. We're gonna have it together for y'all. It's gonna be
We're gonna get
fun.
right.
Commentating on the game. I check it out. See y'all tomorrow.
Yes, sir.